The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
The Badger Hockey Digest, presented by Charter Communications.
Hi, welcome to the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter. I'm the radio voice for Wisconsin hockey, Brian Posick, the head coach, Mike Eaves, alongside. Badgers back at the Kohl Center this weekend to take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Actually a Thursday-Friday series. More about that coming up in just a bit. But Wisconsin back from Ann Arbor against the Michigan Wolverines, a good club. And I was very encouraged with the way your team started out on Friday. Unfortunately, the Wolverines came out of there with a 3-1 win.
Yes.
And then a strong performance, I thought, on Saturday, too. You lose in a shootout, but I know you were pretty pleased with the effort you saw in the finale.
We were a better team on Saturday and had every opportunity to win that game, especially in overtime. We had some, looking at the video, we had some outstanding scoring chances. But we were a better team on Saturday. I think there was a lot of uncertainty there for a lot. We haven't had a lot of guys that played in that rink. And in looking back on some of our kids, Ryan McDonough, Derek Stepan, thinking back on their first games in that Yost Arena, I mean, their eyes were open pretty wide. And we had some of that on Friday night, but we met the challenge on Saturday night and legitimately gave ourselves a chance to win.
Yep. Saturday night, it's scoreless after one, and then Michael Mersch had a highlight reel goal where he should have received an assist for his goal. He passed it to himself right down low right, low left of the goaltender, put it behind his back, wrapped it around, worked off the defenseman, and snapped it home, and that was an impressive goal, wasn't it?
That's not the first time we've seen that.
Yeah,
if you're out at practice watching what the guys do during practice and after practice, that's one of the things that he's done in practice before. So, but the fact that he did it in a game shows, the confidence that Michael has, and it was a fun goal to watch.
It was. Michael has 15 goals this season, and Mark Zangerly got a breakaway, was tripped up, and eventually had a penalty shot. Fine play by Grant Bessie to set up Mark for that possibility.
It was. He chipped it off the glass. And in a small rink like Yost, you have to play that kind of hockey, like a next zone mentality, skate to the puck. And Grant got it off the glass. Mark had a breakaway, was pulled down, and then went in and made a nice move on their young goaltender to score the goal to give us a lead in the second period.
Yeah. Badgers goaltender Joel Rumpel played very well all weekend, made 70 saves. The Saturday game ended up going to a shootout, the first shootout in league play for the Wisconsin Badgers, and I'm pretty sure you knew who you were going to send out there for your 3 shooters, right?
We did. We talk about it before every game. We keep track of our shootouts that we have during the course of the week in practice, and then it's a kind of sometimes it's scientific by numbers, and sometimes it's a gut feel. And we talked about it as a staff, and we went with guys that we thought would give us the best chance. They all made good moves. They just unfortunately couldn't get it behind their young goaltender.
Yeah, Zach Nagelvort was good for Michigan. What do you think of the shootouts as a whole to determine or at least provide an additional point in the Big Ten standings?
Well, one thing, you can go back and forth about it, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
There's a feeling that a tie in sport is much like kissing your sister. You walk out of there, you got no feelings at all. There's when you win in a shootout, there's elation, and when you lose, there's a little dejection. But we got a point. We played well enough, and I think right now we're in a phase, and we're trying to sell our game. People love the shootout. I mean, they absolutely stood the whole time, and it's very, very exciting. And that's the first comment that Red and I said after the game is, man, these folks love this. And I think we're in the entertainment business. And I think part of us continuing to do the shootouts is because we are in that entertaining business.
Yep, both games in Ann Arbor were televised. Both games against Minnesota this week will be televised as well. More on the Badgers and Gophers coming up after this.
I'm not what the girls here would call classically good looking. I spent most of my youth in the dreaded friend zone. That all changed when my folks got Charter TV. I discovered tons of chick flicks in HD and on demand, and learned all the secrets to romancing the high school girl. Now in a school full of boys, I'm the man. I'm the man.
Get Charter TV starting at $29.99 per month. Charter, make way for more.
This is Andrew Zielsdorf. He plays hockey. This is leukemia. It's bad business. This is Andrew's oncology team. They love Andrew. They don't like leukemia. And thanks to them, Andrew is now cancer-free. Booyah. They are the world-renowned physicians, scientists, and nurses at the American Family Children's Hospital, pioneers in pediatric cancer care. UW Health. Remarkable.
We tape the Badger Hockey Digest every Tuesday. On Tuesday morning, the Badgers practiced from 8 to about 9 a.m. There's a high school game that's played here. Madison Edgewood plays its games here. Your practice schedule has been a little bit discombobulated, although shortly after practice, the entire team, it seemed like, left and went to class. And I know you're proud of the schoolwork that your players have been doing, and you have another 3.0 plus grade point average for your past semester.
That's our team's average, and it's been that way for about the last 7 to 8 semesters. To go back to the schedule, we're kind of disconnected here. We've got we have to practice at usually we practice on Tuesday, Thursdays now, 7 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock, because of the fact that we have so many seniors and they need classes to graduate, and they're only given it at that time, and they're not offered in the summer. So we practice Monday, Wednesday at 1:30, Tuesday, Thursday at 6 to 7, and because of the high school game that Edgewood is playing, we had to go at 8 o'clock this morning. So it makes for an interesting week because you don't get in a routine. And, you know, I think the guys actually, the feedback that we got about the early morning practice was pretty good, Brian. You know, they got up, got at it. Now they have a full day of class, and they're done for the day, though. So we'll see if, I don't know if they want to make it a regular habit, but, you know, this morning was interesting driving in early. The sun was actually coming up, and you know it wasn't dark about 6:30 when I was getting in here, so that's a good thing. It makes it easier to get up when the sun's up, doesn't it?
There's no doubt, no doubt. Minnesota Golden Gophers come to town. They're ranked #1 in the country. They've lost only twice this season. Badgers played them up at Mariucci at the end of November, and you think about the first game, it's a 2-1 game with 10 minutes left. You're right in there and lost 4-1, and then it's tied in the third period in game 2, and unfortunately fell 4-3. But 2 competitive games, and I'm looking forward to the same thing here.
You know, if you take a look at the Big Ten right now, every weekend, I mean, the games are highly contested, and it's a battle. I mean, you think Minnesota was only lost twice, but yeah, I think they'll say, man, they felt pretty good about getting the points they did last week at home against the Michigan State team that played their fannies off. So it's I think we're seeing it in Big Ten basketball. We're seeing in Big Ten hockey that, you know, if you're not ready to play and have your A game going, you're going to struggle.
Yep. The Gophers can really bring it up front. Their goaltender, Adam Wilcox, is solid, too. When you go into a series against Minnesota, what is your primary objective as far as defense is concerned? Joel Rumpel's obviously been playing well for you. The guys in front as well.
Well, I think that with a high-powered offense like they have, we want to play in their zone. We want to make them play, you know, as far away from our net as they can, and I think by doing that we can control the play in their zone and not have any cheap turnovers. You hear coaches talk about that in every sport. So that is one of our main thrusts is this week is to play down there, keep them down there, and limit their time in our zone, Brian.
All right. Badgers and Gophers. Friday night the game starts at 7:30. Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Beg your pardon, it's Thursday, Friday. Thursday 7:30. Friday 8 o'clock. Also Paul Brown night on Friday night at the Kohl Center. They'll honor the longtime voice of Wisconsin hockey, his 40th year. So make sure you come by for that. Also on Friday there's a Buckets for Hunger fundraiser. Wisconsin's only Hobie Baker Award winner Blake Jeffreyon will be in attendance. Go to bucketsforhunger.com for more information about that. Best of luck against the Gophers.
Thanks, Brian.
Sure. Thursday, Friday. You can hear both games on the Badger Sports Network. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter.